Hello, my name is Sweetz O Skyebluespeaks. I am a victim of what is known or become an upcoming trend of racial abuse, mistreatment, retaliation, harassment, and discrimination at my former job where I worked since 2007, of January or about 2007, as a patient advocate, mental health patient advocate, community worker at Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health, the largest mental health treatment center or department in the United States of America. I worked on a unit by the name of Olive View Community Mental Health Urgent Care Center in Sylmar, California, on the UCLA campus. There, I worked under a program director mainly since 2009 till 2013. Now, in the beginning, I said I started my employment there in January or so of 2007. When I first started, I worked under competent mental health program director, mental health supervisors, mental health doctors who trained me to do the work that I was certified to do in the department. So when I came into the department, I had high hopes and high spirits. I was hired to actually bring life smart, wit, empathy, and my great work ethics to the department. As a mental health patient myself, I was in mental health treatment for like 3.5 years before I took this job. When I came to the department, they were aware of that because that was one of the criteria of getting this position that I was so happy to have up until July the 25th, 2013. Now, when I came to the department, well, I was stable, I had coping skills, and I brought all these talents. But the main thing I brought was excitement, enthusiasm about the Mental Health Service Act program, Proposition 63, which I was a stockholder in and which I voted for in November 2004, which passed in November 2004, almost a decade ago. Now, this bill, Proposition 63, I endear to my heart because it was one of the first bills that really looked out for mental health patients in California. It addressed everything, their indigenous social needs, it addressed their homelessness, it addressed their home health needs, it gave them protection under these new laws from all type of psychiatric brutality, all type of low grade mental health services. It was designed to actually give a better outcome to the mental health user, mental health patient, and to the up-and-coming, supposedly trained to work in recovery mental health licensed professionals. Now, my story goes a little like this. In 2009, I actually was sucker punched, not actually hit in the face with a fist, but it felt like it. I was actually working with this man, a mental health director, at a mental health residence center for almost 2 years. And all of a sudden one day, around November 9th or earlier, 2009, he rudely came into the office demanding that I leave. He stood about 6'2" over me, over my desk, pounding on the walls, asking me to get out. And mind you, I did not work for him. I worked for LA County Department of Health. He was a county contracted agent. What his problem was, I haven't even found out to this day. But the police were called after he touched me and pushed me with his big pot belly and tried to push me out the door in heels. With no explanation. He had no right to touch me. I knew my civil rights were in violation. So I thought he thought it was safe because I had identified as a mental health patient that he thought it was okay to push me around. But the police were called, my friends were called, my family came in, and the program head, the new one, came in at that time. So everything was taken care of. They moved me to a better location, LA County Department of Health, where it was non-hostile, which I thought, only to be sucker punched again by two, one a licensed RN and another one a humanitarian, a so-called graduate of humanitarian university, medical caseworker. These two individual females, mind you, I'm age 40 plus, but they're in age under 40. But anyway, I had come back from bereavement after losing my firstborn son, Sky, in March 4th of 2010. Do you know what it's like to lose a child or to lose a family member and then have to return to work? Well, I went back to work because, like I said, of my empathy and my work ethics. I loved what I do. It's my purpose, and I wanted to help the patients as well. Because I knew the pain and the suffering when you go through this type of invisible illness. It plagues you all your life. You try to go to the help and get the help. So that's why I felt privileged to work in mental health services field. So anyway, these two individuals, women, called me, quote, quote, a nappy-headed nigger. Okay, called me, quote, quote, a nappy-headed nigger. Did I say that right? A nappy-headed nigger. Now, the thing is, it was from individuals that I have never, ever joked with or talked to them about their ethnicity or diversity, because I'm not that type of person. But I just thought that was not acceptable behavior. It was inappropriate. So that was my second complaint. Again, I made it with the same individual, this new program head at the time, the second complaint. Now, things get a little bit heavier and a little bit more toxic. I end up moving with the same company to a new location, a brand new location. Had high hopes, a $10 million building. Everything was looking good. The Mental Health Service Act had built it. The millionaires were there. The board of supervisors were there. The community was there. Everything's looking good. I'm feeling a little bit safe, but still cautious. Only to find, after I entered that building, after the blue ribbon cutting ceremony, it opened in August 11, 2011. But on September or so, or about 2011, another one of these individuals that had joined this ring of people that like to call people nappy-headed niggers and like to jump and attack mental health patients, well, this individual called me a bald-headed, weed-waving black woman. And it was reported. I addressed it right away. I'm becoming a pro at this now, okay? These sucker punch moves. So I was brought to the attention, and my program had another complaint was filed. Okay, I say all this to say this. I was not going to work with any intention of filing any complaints. I just wanted to do my job that I was trained to do, go home, real safe in the workplace, and return home. So anyway, after that, the next incident happens in, I believe it was around August 8, 2012, where a forensic psychiatrist holds a meeting, asks for all the supervisors to leave the meeting, and I'm thinking, it's not going to be a surprise party for one of the supervisors, one of those kind of office things. No. He actually had a petition started, speaking of petitions, to recall the program head, who also is of African American heritage. We were the only two on the team at that time. Okay? And then he looked directly at me and he says, there will be no retaliation if those of you decide not to go along with this petition movement against the program head. Now me, I felt like that was unethical to call a meeting about a program head during a meeting that was the weekly staff meeting. So the majority of us left the meeting disgruntled, distraught. I immediately reported to my supervisor, whom they all asked to leave the meeting, and I responded by saying, that meeting was very inappropriate, and I just didn't feel like I should have been involved in that meeting, and I refused to sign that petition that the doctor was circulating, and I left it at that. But do you know, when I came back to work on that Saturday, I believe it was August 11, 2012, that doctor was stalking me, following me around to the office. He almost walked on the back of my heel, and then I said, enough is enough. I turned to him, I said, what's going on here, doctor? Do you need something? Then immediately I went back to my office space to finish doing my work, what I came to work that Saturday for. And then he would block my door, him and another doctor, making it hard for me to access, to go in and out. And I took this like as inappropriate behavior towards me, as a direct, because he had never done anything like that in the time I had worked with him. And going back to the incident in 2009 and in 2010 and in 2011, I just said, okay, I'm going to nip this. I'm going to call the day supervisor, which I did. I reported his behavior. I said I didn't like it. I felt uncomfortable, even though he was a doctor. I just still didn't trust this man. So what happened was the supervisor calls me on my job, the program head, asked me to write up how I felt in my own words, which I did. Filed the fourth complaint, I believe. Go home, come back Tuesday to my shift. Yelled at, confronted, had a confrontation with the same woman that called me a nappy-headed nigger in 2010, in June or so, with the other young lady. They both called me nappy-headed niggers around here, okay? So she's screaming at me now. I guess I don't know what's going on with these complaints. I don't even know what the status of these complaints to this date. There's so much red tape, and you got to go through the middle complaint, through the department. But anyway, I said, hold up, get back, you're in my 3 feet space, you have to back up. I need to speak to someone that is non-threatening at this moment. So this program head again comes in, sounds like preschool, doesn't it? But this is a true story. Okay, so basically, she reneges on her threat. She goes back into the meeting and quietly sits there at the other end of the table, far and away from me. Thank God. So after that, I'm thinking, well, I did my job. A year kind of goes by. I return. I'm still working now, doing the best I can, even in this hostile work environment. Even after I asked for a transfer directly to the program head in writing, I was denied, because the program head said he liked my work ethics, he liked my style, and he didn't want to lose me. He loved my work. I get that. But anyway, at the end, they was just kind of like not enlightened about these threats that I was confronting and made against me. They just took it for granted, even high management. That's how I feel today. So basically, on July the 20th, oh no, there was some incidents that happened in between there. Everything happened to me inappropriately by these so-called competent mental health professionals on this triage team that you can imagine. And there was even a few things you can't. Now let me go to this. The picture. I was photoshopped, made fun of in a secret party in the back of the clinic center by the same individuals that I had formerly written complaints to, and writing straight to the complaint about the racial harassment, the discrimination, the mental health disability, what do you call them, bashings that I suffered. All the little tricks and shenanigans was writ up in my complaint. Why only to find this picture of me that was photoshopped, racially offensive, depicting me without a face, replaced with a gorilla or a pig face. It was so degrading, I threw up. I immediately called management supervisor on that shift. She came in, drafted a copy, took that individual hate, I called it a hate piece. It was so disgusting. If you want to see what I'm talking about, you can go to my webpage, YouTube. It's on YouTube. I posted it in my early days when I first came out the hospital. I was just so torn back. The girl is on YouTube. You can see it for yourself. Just go to Sweetz, S-W-E-T-Z, Sky, S-K-Y-E, B-L-U-E, like the color, Speaks, S-P-E-A-K-S, at gmail.com. And you will see my video. It says Speak Live with Skyebluespeaks about the wretched psychiatrist at LA County Department of Mental Health, UCLA campus. And it talks about the picture. And then I did another one, they said, when I came out the hospital. And it's called about the psychiatrist. You can just click in and you'll go there and you can see the 2 videos. They're kind of lengthy, so watch them on an evening when you got a lot of time. But now I'm just going to cut this one short. Please support my petition to say no more billions, no more millions of mental health Proposition 63 Million Health Services Act dollars in California to go to LA County Department of Mental Health, UCLA, to their racist, incompetent psychiatrists on that triage team, and all of you community mental health, urgent care, a mental health funded program in Sylmar, until they clean house and address what these practicing, mistreating the mental health patients are doing. They used to brag that they were there for the paychecks. They're nothing but a bunch of money grabbing, offering minimal services to those in need. People come in there that are about to jump off the bridge, only left on and directed to another bridge of hopelessness. They're given the runaround. They're being dumped. They're being medically misdiagnosed. It's just a game with these people. I get it. I know we have a doctor shortage in Los Angeles County Department of Health. I know it's hard to get social workers. I know it's hard to get medical caseworkers, RNs, nurses, but you know what? You guys got to think of the patients first. They should not have to suffer these type of abuses, and neither should the employees that come in and do a competent job, that love their work, such as myself, have to go through what I went through the last 3.5 years. So this is Skyebluespeaks. If you'd like to speak with me live, You can go to Speak Live with Skyebluespeaks. My phone number is there. You can like my video or you can not like my video. I just want to make you aware of what I'm going through, and I thank you for your ongoing support. Everybody that signed my petition. Thank you so very much. I love you. And black hair is beautiful. We're just as beautiful as anyone else. I love my blackness. I love everything about my black culture. I just wanted to make a mention that. But only that, I love everyone else because I'm a true humanitarian that really cares. Thank you.